Thank you. And happy birthday, Baker Street. We're Updad online letting agency. We advertise properties on the major property websites such as Rightmove, Zoopla and Prime Location to help landlords find tenants. We do this by offering a bespoke service. We offer from advertising to setting up contracts, inventories, referencing, gas safety certificates, anything that a landlord may need to help let their properties. Each landlord who signs up with Updad is assigned an account manager who's Arlo approved, so we have to go through certain qualifications to make sure we're up to scratch with all the letting news and updates. So they would help the landlords throughout the whole process from advertising to once the tenant steps into their new home. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly talk on how tenants are searching for the next rental. Things have slightly changed lately. So typical tenant, maybe a good few years ago, they probably walk into a high street agency. Now more and more tenants are now looking online for the next home, with Rightmove, Zoopla and Prime Location kind of leading the way through that. Okay, so because of that, more and more tenants now, because of nowadays people have got portable devices, whether it's a smartphone or iPad, whether it be on their way to work, they can now actually find their home instead of maybe wasting their weekend walking through the high street agency. So if you are in a landlord in a position to advertise the property, what you may need to do is just make sure you have good quality photos. So tenants are now viewing their properties or potential properties online. So by making sure you have good quality photos, you want to make sure that your detailed description is nicely filled out and you've also got the perfect rent price as well. When a tenant is going through the advertising portals, they're likely to see your property looking like this. As you can see, it's majority led with the photos. So, as I was saying before, you want to make sure your photo stands out. If it doesn't stand out, what we're likely to do is what James likes to call the swipe effect. So we did a experiment where we advertised one property, but twice, one with photos and one without photos. Now, it probably doesn't take a genius to work out what property actually got the most inquiries. The one with photos got 8 times more inquiries. So up to 8 times more inquiries with photos. It shows off your property just a little bit more. I mean, it's your property. You want to kind of show it off, get tenants to click on it, get viewings. It cuts down on time wasters. Tenants will be aware of what type of property it is with the photos you've got. And you're also able to visualize, tenants are also able to visualize themselves in the property as well if you've got photos. Okay, so we did another experiment, so pretty fitting with HMOs. So we advertised the HMO room, one furnished and one unfurnished. Again, probably doesn't take a genius to work out how many tenants, which one got more inquiries. It's the one with furnished. So it's all about just dressing your property. Even if you don't have any furniture in the property, maybe go to a neighbour, or our CEO always likes to say, maybe just get cardboard box and make furniture out of that. It's not my tip. Another tool to help improve inquiries is setting up a floor plan. Now, a lot of landlords are unsure whether or not it would be helpful or not. Again, for HMOs, I feel it's especially important because you're going to have individual tenants looking for your property. And you may have fussy tenants who are a bit fussy about the bedrooms being close to the kitchen or to the bathroom. It increases tenants' interest by up to 72%, and particularly useful for unfurnished properties and sharers as well. Is that a third box room? It just shows the size of the actual room as well. So sometimes you've used wide angle cameras, it can be slightly misleading. So you just want to kind of make the tenants aware of the size of the property. You can't see that, can you? Okay, so that should say premium listing. So with a premium listing, Rightmove and Zoopla supply provides that. That makes your property stand out. So I don't know if anyone has had a property advertised on Rightmove. Usually the standard listing will now lead with 2 photos, but with a premium listing, what that does is put a nice green banner, which will say premium. Now let's say if you've got a property advertised in E16, there could be like maybe 10, 20 properties advertised there. Tenant will do a search, we'll see a list of it, all looking pretty similar. But with a premium listing, that will just create a bit more of a standout, so it just kind of draws the attention to the tenants. We're doing a webinar, well not me, James usually does monthly webinars, 23rd is tomorrow, yeah? Yeah, so tomorrow on my tenant wants to leave early, where do I stand? So it gives useful information and tips. So if it's something, it's not too late to register if you're interested in. If you're in a situation or position where you want to advertise a property or a room, we could offer you £40 off. For standard advertising property, it's £120. You get £40 off of that, and for advertising a room, it's £60. Yeah, I think that's it, thanks.